environment and stress. So today I'm going to talk a little bit about environmental stresses. So there's the loss part of the stresses. So I've been talking about and mention all the majority of stressors that can activate the stress response on us. So environment is the last stage of the stresses categories. So environment is what is around us, and environment can have big impact in also shaped our behavior, our thoughts, our feelings, and our health. So we're gonna understand a little bit how environment can activate a stress response on us, and also maybe can be in supporting us, and because environmental stressor is not only can activate stress response on us, also can support our health. So the first part of environmental stressor is what is around us and the space around us. So there's the closest spaces that we normally develop ourselves during day to day. So we can mention here our house, our home, our workplace, or the places that you normally stay during your day, or you develop the majority of your time. So we can mention here our room, one part of the house that you normally stay, or the office, and sometimes this can be a very stressed area for some of the people. So maybe the most common one is when we have our room very disorganized, and for people that can be activating a stress response on us. Sometimes we don't even realize they can, have such a stress impact on us. So maybe you're the type of person that you normally like to have organization in your room, and because of the day-to-day we don't have much time sometimes to do it. So when we come back home from such a long day, and then we see the disorganization, so maybe we don't realize that can get a stress response, but is actually can activate the stress response. So I read an interesting fact in these places that they call the blue zone, and in this place they have something they call Hygge. I'm not sure if it's the correct way to pronounce it. It's Hygge. So it's a Danish term that indicates coziness and comfort, creating a sense of refuge and control that allows the home environment to be a healing place. So this makes us understand how important that our home feels like a safe and comfortable area for us to live, so they can have a really big impact in our health. So I like it because they mention something that is coziness and comfort, and the impact they can have in ourselves. And I believe when we have organized places, we feel more light, more clear, more soft, so it feel like more relaxed. And instead of this chaotic place, it can give us like well, for me personally, I feel already stressed when in a chaotic place, so it can have a big impact the place we normally develop ourselves. So maybe you can identify this area as a stressor in you. Maybe you can have a better look what's going on and surrounding you in your day-to-day, and maybe it's causing you a stress and you have not identified it. So the next level of environmental stress is our neighborhood. So it's been in this it's been involved all the buildings, people, parks, shops, roads, and creates an important part of the space that we live, and can have a very big impact in ourselves and the stress response. Because if we don't feel safe in our neighborhood, or we don't have the access to shops and maybe transport and and the buildings like schools and all these facilities that we need for develop our life, can have a big impact in our stress response. Because maybe we need to go, or we need to drive far to get all the facilities, or maybe we don't have public transport, so it's difficult to us to get work, and maybe it's not a safe neighborhood, so it can have a very big impact in ourselves and the stress response. So having all the facilities and access to all these instruments for develop our life is very important. And also our community, so is the environment that surround us. So we can talk a little bit about the people who surround us. So if we feel support, if we feel connected, if we feel that we belong, so this one, it can have a very big impact in our stress. Because if we feel connected to the people who surround us, we can feel safe, and we can feel that we belong, and we are protected, and we can trust, and we can feel safe. And it's very important in the stress response on us, because if you contrast or you don't feel safe about the community that you live, it can be very stressful for you. And so this is a big part of the stress response, the community that we normally be. And also into community, we can talk about the social environment, so also connects to these physical surroundings and social relationships and culture as well. So if we feel that we connect and belong to the community that we live, it can have a really big impact. Because if we don't feel connected and we don't feel like we are accepted in the community, it can be very stressful for people. So the state is the last part of the environmental stressors. In this one, we can talk about the laws, the infrastructure, the regulations, and the system, and the ways doing things that organize, and the structure, and how everything is made to have a better develop and in the system in our life. So in this one, normally we don't have much control of it, but it can cause a very big impact in our life. And so it's very important that we live in communities that the state, or in a state that we feel is more safe for us, so we have more protection about, and more no benefits, but all the access to the public stage, and also to feel safe about how is this area being developed. So our environment also is not everything about stress. When we talk about environment, also can be very supportive in our health. So it's just to understand that maybe some aspects of the environment is causing you stress, and identify, because some of them we can't do, we can't change them, we can't do much about it, because it's the way that it's developed, or it's the way that normally happens. So, but we can, if we understand that is causing a stress response, also we can take decisions and see and understand that we can for ourselves do some change. And maybe if your surroundings doesn't feel too safe, or you're not agree with the stage and how it's developed, maybe we can move to another place. But if we can't do, because our circumstances doesn't allow us to change, we can also take techniques for ourselves, so we can, you know, develop ourselves in better way. So I'm gonna continue posting more about the stresses and how important it is to identify them, so we can understand the impact that can have in our life. And then if you want me to talk about something else that I have missed, just let me know in the comments so I can talk a little bit more about it. So for now, since I'll be posting the rest of the video about the stresses, and it's possible for us to start identify which one is affecting more us, so we can start talking a little bit what we can do about it and which techniques we can apply in our lives to have a better stress response.